Day two of our Zoomcast World Series recap. Stephen Alveda here with Mitchell Briggs. Mitchell, the surprise reliever out of the pen. Mitch, the announcers were so surprised to see you out of the pen, they actually called you Kyle Ferraro on the broadcast. I don't feel bad, but they got it right eventually.
Good.
How are you
Good.
doing today, Mitch?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited to, talk about the journey and talk about the guys. It was a great run.
Nice. First, how's quarantine life? How was finishing up your senior year, your degrees? By the way, a recent graduate, finance and economics, double major for Briggs. So welcome to the Chapman Alumni Club. I'm a fellow Chapman alum, so welcome and congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so it wasn't obviously the way I'd imagined it, but all in all, I've been able to spend a lot of time with my girlfriend and was able to go up to see my family for a week, which I normally can't do during spring season. So as unfortunate as the situation was and still is, I think I was able to pull some positives out of it. And I've had a really good quarantine. Family's safe, friends are safe, everyone's healthy. So I can't complain given the circumstances.
I'm sure you wish and thought you would be in Cedar Rapids at this point anyway, and your family would be visiting you there, and you'd be closing out some big games for us.
Yes, yeah, that's true. That would be better, actually. That's definitely what we had in mind, but the universe had different plans, I guess.
All right. Well, you do. It seems like you said you do have a job lined up after this. You got something starting in the next couple of weeks, so I want to congratulate you on that as well.
Thank you.
Absolutely difficult time for you guys coming out of college, and I feel for all of you. So congrats on having that one lined up as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So the first thing I want to talk about the World Series. Some people just celebrate harder than others. And if there was an MVP, I mean, Zeiss was the most valuable player of the whole tournament. But if there was an MVP of the celebration in itself, I think it would have been you. And here is why. If you can see that, that is
Yep.
Mitchell in the celebration.
This is a good one.
And that
Some long hair.
smiling through the blood of a busted lip,
Uh-huh.
completely unfazed by the fact that
Yeah.
you had blood dripping down your face there. What was that celebration like, and could you even feel the fact that your lip was busted at that point?
I knew it was wet, but I couldn't feel the pain. Just too many emotions running. It was a great moment. Yeah, I busted in the bottom of the dog pile. I think I was on the bottom of every single dog pile during the playoff run. I don't know if that was by choice. I think I just tended to be one of the guys who was tackling the person who either had the walk off or made the last out. So I ended up on bottom. But yeah, I got a knee to the mouth, and yeah, it couldn't stop me. I I didn't want to soil that moment with a little blood. I thought it would add to it, honestly. And clearly, you captured that beautiful moment. So thank you for
Obviously,
that.
you healed up nice there, so you're still looking all right.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. No stitches. No
Good,
stitches.
good. Is that a testament to your speed? You're saying Lab should have used you as a pinch runner a little more often, or
No,
you're the first one there?
no, very average speed. I actually might be the definition of average in the speed category. Not fast, but not slow.
Well, first to the let's get into some baseball questions. You were, like I said, when you first came into the World Series, they called you by the wrong name. They're like, wait, he's a catcher. We still had you listed as a catcher on the roster, even though you converted, I think, halfway through the season. Tell me where that talk came from, who brought it up with who, and when you decided, hey, maybe I want to try my hand at this pitching thing.
So actually, to my memory, it was a bit later than halfway. I think it was just a couple weeks out from playoffs when Coach Eddie, our pitching coach, came up to me, and I think it was before a doubleheader against Pomona or something, or maybe I can't remember. Regardless, he came up to me and said, "Hey, Mitch, like, do you want to pitch?" And I laughed because he says stuff like that to people, and it's always a joke because Eddie likes to joke, to put it lightly. So I kind of laughed, and I was like, "Yeah, sure." And he's like, "No, I'm serious." I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." I pitched a little bit in Little League. That's actually the last time I really pitched, but I always thought like I could do that, hockey baseball player attitude there. That doesn't look too bad. I think I could get back up there and hook it. So I was really felt fortunate that he saw something in me and gave me an opportunity to start working on it. So I threw a few bullpens, and he liked what he saw, and Lav liked what he saw, and I just kept working at it, getting ready for playoffs. The entire time, the tone was, hey, if we make a run, we're going to need extra people out of the pen. So you got to be ready to pitch in potentially big series, big games. Probably not in the regular season. This will be for late playoffs. So that was the attitude the whole time.
And you kind of hit it right there. My next question was in the especially college baseball play a tournament setting, you need pitching depth to get you through. You played a 5-game series with Whitman in 3 days, you know, and then the World Series, obviously, we're going to do a rough outing there from Peck, and we're going to need to go to the bullpen early, and you definitely need some length out of that. So, you know, what was the nerves like for you making your first appearance since Little League in a regional game, right? And I think it was that we were up 3-1. You were in game 4, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a big spot for you. Coming in, making your first appearance in that time, and then the nerves coming into the World Series, not making your second appearance there.
Yeah, definitely a ton of nerves. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't shaking like a leaf when I ran out there. But what my years at Chapman had taught me as a baseball player was that you can't get caught in your head. I mean, I guess I always knew that as a baseball player, but I didn't really understand it. I've never been challenged as a player as much as I have at Chapman at the college level. I was continuously fighting for spots, freshman, sophomore, junior year, trying to move around, find my role, and I never really broke through. And eventually, I think I developed this mindset that was pretty toxic at the plate as a position player. And when I got an opportunity to pitch, even though it was a big game situation and I was nervous, I just promised to myself, this time, don't get in your head. You're not going to overthink this. You're going to go out there and huck the rock as hard as you can and strike some guys out and give it everything you got. And if it doesn't fall your way, then tip your hat because this is the last shot you got. Leave it all out there. Kind of cheesy, but it really was an aha moment for me. I realized you just got to lay it on the table. There's no other option here. So that was my mindset.
It's awesome. I remember, I think when they first started working on it, you remember Lab coming, I asked Lab a question about something. He's like, I think we found our next, you know, our next Garcia, you know, was the conversion project. Our next project is Briggs. He's throwing high 80s. He's doing the, you know, he's got some stuff working. I was like, all right, cool. So I was excited to see you this year, and I'm sorry we didn't get to see a little bit more of you. World Series appearance. I mean, talk about the World Series. What is that experience like for you? You guys, you know, you fly into Cedar Rapids. What was Cedar Rapids like, and getting to get out on a national stage?
Well, the whole thing was a blur looking back on it. Just a week full of fun and excitement. But I guess coming into it, we honestly, as a team, had some high expectations with regards to like the gear we were gonna get. You know, we called them goodie bags. We would make jokes. Oh, we're gonna get goodie bags. Like we've heard rumors of the goodie bags. So I mean, obviously that wasn't our our chief reason for wanting to be there was the goodie bags, but you know, it was camaraderie. And that led us to some early disappointment. You know, the opening ceremony was great. It was fun. Coach Fox got out there and participated in a fungo challenge and did well. That was all awesome, but it didn't quite live up to this hyped experience we had in our head. We had heard stories from Appleton, Wisconsin, where the World Series had previously been hosted, of like borderline parades and stuff. So initial disappointment, but then we quickly realized that none of that stuff mattered because we had the people we cared about there to support us, our families, and we had tons of support from home, and we just wanted to win. So yeah, I'm actually already forgetting your question, but
Nope, that's good.
because I'm going down memory lane, I'm getting lost in here. I hope that answered it a bit.
We'll go to the game. You know, obviously you get game 1. You know, in game 2 you come in, you got Peck on the mound. I'm sure you guys were feeling pretty good, and Peck just doesn't have the performance that you know anybody wanted him to have, including himself, I'm sure. And so you're going to the bullpen early, and here you come here in the 5th inning, I believe it was.
Sounds great.
You come out to start the inning, right? I got the audio turned off on this one so we can talk over it, but you know, here you are taking the mound, and again, they're calling you Kyle Ferraro, and But here you are with the ball. What is your mindset kind of coming into this start? Where I think we're down 9-2 at this point. So what's your mindset coming in? I just got to get some outs to preserve some arms, or what's your mindset going into it?
Make a statement. That was my mindset. Statement for my team, statement for myself. I was still very much in that headspace of you haven't earned this role yet. You haven't earned any role yet. You've been working hard for all this time, and this is, a great opportunity. So get out there and be a nasty competitor, because that's all you can really ask out of somebody. So I thought if I came out and set that, you see, I'm kind of mean mugging here. If I try to set a really, sinister tone, we might carry some energy forward to the next game, and more selfishly, I might get some more opportunities.
You threw a lot of strikes, and so I'll go through your outing real quick. This guy up right now, you're going to go 0-2 on him and get him in 6-3. You're going to get the next guy. You're going to get the next guy ground to third on a 1-1 pitch. A nice play by Litwin on a little slow roller. Little lazy fly ball to center to end that inning. So 7 pitches, you're out of the first inning. Second inning, you go 1-0. So you throw a ball, and then you get another 6-3, and then you get another lazy fly ball to left, and then you little tapper back up the middle, and Long puts him away. That was 5 pitches. So you throw 2 innings, 2 perfect innings, 12 pitches. The last 4 outs you got in 5 pitches. Do you have any memory of this at all? And are you just focused in on the zone? Like, I'm just going to throw strikes because we got nothing to lose. We're down 9-2.
Yeah, I remember coming off the field both times, and just little blips of being out there, a strikeout, feeling that energy, that moment of excitement, coming off that field after getting out of both innings. But I was just seeing the glove. Eddie taught me really well with regards to the kind of focus pitching takes. He talked about seeing it twice. It's one of his big favorite phrases, see it twice. What he means by that is visualize yourself throwing a strike before you throw a strike, and then visualize yourself throwing a strike as you're throwing a strike. So a bit strange way to explain it, but it's actually really powerful. It really promotes like some maximum concentration. So I guess those were my 2 mentalities, and it was, mean mug and see it twice. Just glove, tuck it there.
Looking back on it, how big is this moment for you guys? Because really, UMass Boston's kind of steamrolling at this point. They put up 9 runs in the first 3 innings, if I remember correctly. Maybe they scored 1 in the 4th, and then they did score 1 in the 4th, and then you came out and you threw up a couple zeros. So how big is it not only in this game to kind of get your feet back under you for your whole team, but when you face these guys later in the week, you got to beat them twice. Now you got the confidence that you can shut them down because you shut them down for 2, and then I can't remember who came in after you, but they come in and shut them down. I think Cody comes and shuts them down for the last inning there. So how big is the spot for you to come in and hang up some zeros?
Yeah, I'd love to say it's a huge spot. I hope it was really impactful on the guys. For me personally, I know it was impactful. All the self-confidence I needed to get through the rest of the tournament. Again, though, in those 2 innings, it was mostly just a haze of focus. So I'm not exactly sure if I was rallying the troops or not. I hope I was. Maybe that's a question you can ask some of the guys in their interviews. See if I had an impact. That'd be really awesome.
There's the play by Litwin there. Pitchers are supposed to stay out of the way, right? When you get little right there, the fielders handle that one. But your infielder mentality.
The other thing that Eddie had grilled into me that season was actually when I was playing third earlier in the year, or trying to play third, and it was like, how did he phrase it? So you got to be like a dog chasing after a tennis ball. You see ball, my ball, my ball, my ball. So I think that was a little bit of that Eddieism working on me there.
So what was the key to getting over this loss? You guys come in and it was pretty out of hand early. You guys came back and you threatened, and I think you had the tie run at the plate there at the end of the game. But how do you get over a loss like that to come through and win the whole thing?
At the time, it didn't feel scary. We really felt like we were sort of invincible. I mean, within reason. We obviously weren't irrational about it, or I don't think we were. But the attitude in the clubhouse was, we're not coming for second, we're not coming for third. Losers get forgotten, winners are remembered forever. Again, cheesy, but we just didn't feel like we were out of the fight. It wasn't even something like, guys, we need to come together and figure this out. It was just business as usual. Baseball, we dropped a game, we aren't dropping another one. Let's get ready to play tomorrow. And that was, really incredible energy to be a part of. I've been a part of it once before in my life on a team when I was 13. We ended up winning a national championship in the Babe Ruth League. Not as cool as this, but it was very cool at the time. And that was the only other team where I've truly felt like we couldn't be stopped. And I don't know what creates it. I wish I knew what creates it, because then you could recreate it easily. But it's just a mix of so many different variables, and it comes together in this beautiful, unstoppable train. It just feels like destiny.
You guys were unfazed by deficits all year long. It was, something that was a regular basis. The other team would just score first, and you guys found magic ways to win throughout the season. And in the postseason, you won both regionals and super regionals on a walk off. You get a extra inning win against these guys later in the week. Here you seem unfazed by the fact that they'd hung up 9 runs in 5 innings on you guys, or in 4 innings. What were you? Did you guys really not see the numbers on the scoreboard when you were down, or what was it that inspired you more?
Yeah, I mean, in the moment, obviously, when you're getting pelted 9-3, no one's happy. No one's like, yeah, whatever, this doesn't matter. You do feel it, and you do, you get some doubt in your head. Maybe this isn't the squad. But then at some point, in the next, 3 hours before the next game, if it was a doubleheader, or the next 12 or 24 before that next game, it just sort of dissipated, and we really were able to focus on the next task. I do remember after that loss, Lav had some good words to say in the clubhouse. I think that helped fire everybody up. Again, we weren't down, but I think something needed to be said, and he came in and said the right things. We had great leadership from players as well, but it was almost a team that didn't need leadership in a sense, because everyone just had that same mindset. There wasn't anything to shape up. It was just everyone wanted to win and try to contribute.
Now, you say your appearances are a blur. You actually come in the next game and you pitch an inning against Washington and Jefferson, and I think you pitched well. I think they sneak in a single there and tie up the game against you, but you pitched pretty well. Yeah, you pitched pretty well. Besides that one single, they put you in a tough spot with a runner in scoring position to come in the game. Or no, they put him on right and put him. Yeah, they put you in a tough spot.
Yeah, I put him in scoring position. Yeah. I made it a tough spot for myself.
Yeah. But what do you take away? What images or feelings have stuck with you from the whole experience? It could be on the field. I guess it could be off the field completely.
Actually, interestingly, in that inning where I gave up the single, I remember that at bat, 2 pitches of it extremely well. I think it was maybe first pitch, and I threw a cutter on the inside corner right where I wanted it, and I really believed it was a strike. I still think it was a strike, and that got under my skin. I think that was when the runner was on second. And I carried it with me the rest of that bat, and I'm pretty sure that's why I ended up giving up a single. So it's strange like that failure was one of the things that really stuck with me, but I thought it was like a lesson for pitching and also life. I mean, you hear it all the time. You can't dwell on the failures, but I felt like it cost me in a crucial moment. And I was new to pitching. Everything felt new, and that really just stuck out to me. And the balk, because it was embarrassing. It's always the bad things that stick out.
Right.
Yeah.
What about in the celebration? Afterwards, after you guys accomplished your goal, what sticks out from you from that moment? Is it chasing Mason around the entirety of the diamond? I think he hit a home run and chasing away from the dog pile. But what sticks out to you from the aftermath of all of it, looking back on it?
I think more than any specific moment in the celebration was just the energy is what I remember. The feeling, the emotion. It was just that top of the world uh, feeling that you don't really get anywhere else in life, but athletic events, a physical contest. I don't know what brings it on, but just that sense of accomplishment, camaraderie, of physical success. It's like almost indescribable. And I know, I hope everyone in this world has been fortunate enough to feel something like it or feel it. And I'm sure uh, most everyone has, so everyone can relate. But that's what I remember is just that feeling. And thinking about it sometimes brings just little bits of it back. You can never get the full experience again back, but sometimes you get just that little tingle.
All right, so final question to Doozy here. What's more fun, pitching or hitting?
Oh man. Well, hitting when you're hot, when you're on hot streak. Um, but other than that, always pitching. Hitting is so hard because you're on that side of failure rather than the side of success. You know, pitching, you're successful 70% of the time. You're like, okay, you're like decent. Hitting, you're successful 30% of the time, and you're good. So that really difference plays heavily on, I think, the human psyche. And I definitely felt it from my life as a hitter. And then switching over to pitching, when you're doing bad as a pitcher, it doesn't even feel like you're really doing that bad because you're probably still getting half the guys out. But if you're doing bad hitting, you're having 0% success for an extended period of time, or maybe like 5% success, which is just so. Yeah, hitting if you're really good and you're hot, but all the other times pitching.
Well, that's all I got for you, Mitchell. Thanks for taking some time out to talk about it. Remembering the probably the game that maybe sticks out to you guys, but the one you don't want to remember too much. But at the end, you guys did get it done, and I think those two innings, and the bullpen coming in and shutting down UMass Boston for the last half of that game was really kind of set the tone for the second half of the week there, where you guys came through and won the whole thing. So
That's good to hear.
congratulations on your
Thanks
career,
for
and
having me.
congrats on your job. And you said it's in Newport, so we'll hope to see you back out at Hart when these guys chase it in 2021.
Absolutely will. Yeah, I'll be back at the yard. Thanks for talking to me, Stephen. Appreciate it.
All right, Mitchell. Have a good day.
You too.